The one thing that we all wondered if Triple H was going to do or not, he officially announced it on Tuesday night. Are we getting the black and gold NXT back on Tuesday nights? Also, I got news on if NXT Takeover is returning with this new relaunch of NXT. And I have a major name debuting on NXT to go after Braun Breaker and the NXT World Championship. Also, Velveteen Dream on cocaine use while on the WWE roster. Absolutely blasted EC3 on an Instagram live yesterday. We'll talk about that, all that, plus so much more on this OTS Extra. Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. I got a little bit of extra for you. It is September 15th, 2022. I am JD from New York, as always, coming to you from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Thursday afternoons, wherever you may be. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Links are down below in the description of this very video. Make sure you guys go check out all the content on the channel this week, including the Monday Night Raw and AEW Dynamite post shows we did this week. Last week was a busy week. If you guys missed any of that content, it's on the homepage. Go and check that stuff out. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And I'm going to need 1,000 likes minimum on today's OTS Extra. A lot of people hit me up. About NXT. JD, did you see the black and gold? JD, did you see the new logo? Did you watch NXT? Where were you on Tuesday night? I said I was going to do an NXT post show. I did not do an NXT post show. I didn't feel up to it. I wasn't in the right mindset. I wanted to relax with a drink, and I wanted to just chill on Tuesday night. I got flooded with messages. Did you see the end of NXT? I rush right to Twitter, and I see this video package that Shawn Michaels had narrated, and we see a brand new NXT logo at the end of this video package. Now, WWE capped off a one-year anniversary. I don't know why we're celebrating a one-year anniversary of NXT 2.0. WWE capped off a one-year anniversary of NXT 2.0 with Solo Sikoa winning the North American Championship from Carmelo Hayes on Tuesday's NXT show. The story there is that Sikoa is bringing more gold, obviously, to the bloodline, but there was another big story unfolding at the very end of that show. After Solo's win, they played a video package that was narrated by Shawn Michaels that talked about NXT being about developing talent and looking towards the future. At the end of the video package, the multicolor NXT 2.0 logo was replaced by an updated version of the black and gold logo. This one wasn't really black and gold. It was more white and gold, but you guys get the point about what they were trying to nail home here. Apparently, to signify that the look of the show is going to change over the last year or so from what we saw to something a little bit more adult-themed on Tuesday night. Now, NXT was live on Tuesday. They also, yesterday, taped next week's show. So NXT is going to have a nice long layoff at the Performance Center, and I think in this time they're actually going to be updating the Performance Center where they tape their shows, and it's going to, I guess, reveal, to go along with the logo, the colors of the new logo are going to be incorporated into the PC, and gone is going to be the colors of the NXT 2.0 logo and the theme that they had in the Performance Center for the past year. If this sticks, this is going to be obviously a welcome change for those fans that have been wanting something different on Tuesday night because Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, this was their idea of a 2.0. I don't need to get into why they did what they did. You guys understand that. Triple H was blackballed. Triple H was removed. His legacy was basically erased. They tried to erase everything that he did. They wanted nothing of that man to remain. They wanted to go and butcher the product, and they wanted to do what they wanted to do because they thought that what they were doing was best for business, and it was not. It was a mockery of NXT. They didn't hold back about letting you know what they felt about Black and Gold. They did not give a single shit about any of the talent or anything that came out of that Black and Gold brand. Not a single fucking thing. This is why it pains me so much when Bruce Pritchard comes on here and goes on his fucking podcast and lets everybody know that I love NXT. No, you don't. He never did. He never will. And then he wants to point fingers of blame at people like me and everybody else in the community that criticizes him. I never wrote an NXT show in my entire life. Oh, yeah? That didn't stop you from killing the fucking show. That didn't stop the show from feeling like Monday Night Raw light on Tuesday night. Who wrote it? Certainly wasn't anybody that Triple H had a hand in molding on his management team over the last 7 years. That was grade A Vince McMahon garbage. You guys know why they did what they did on Tuesday night for the last year. Thankfully, it only lasted 1 year. If this sticks, obviously it's going to be a welcome change. And Triple H and all the statements and all the change that he's brought so far in the last 8 weeks, this is going to be the overhaul that the brand desperately needed. Before I get into my opinion, I want to go over the other thing that may be changing. WWE is preparing to bring back NXT Takeover with the relaunch of NXT. Now, Halloween Havoc is coming up. It's been a staple for the last couple of years on Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Halloween Havoc has been a themed show that WWE's done with the NXT brand. This year, apparently it's going to be a premium live event scheduled internally for October 22nd. Many of the NXT specials over the last year ended up happening on television like Halloween Havoc. You guys remember the last couple of years it was hosted by Shotzi Blackheart. Triple H is more than aware of what the fans actually want and has already made huge changes to the product to please them. This includes changing the overall feel of the shows, unbanning words, and more. We went over this in the last 8 weeks extensively on my post shows. The best thing about Vince McMahon being gone is Hunter is not going to screw himself, says Dave Meltzer. He talked about this on the Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer noted that Triple H is using his position to cross-promote NXT. This is something that Vince McMahon didn't do at all. Hunter's not going to screw himself. He's trying to use the main roster to create more interest in NXT, and with Vince gone, they were going to go back on all of the shows and undo everything that Vince McMahon did, and they are going to relaunch NXT. Now, with him in charge, it'll be with Triple H promoting NXT on Raw and SmackDown on a regular basis. It's a good thing for NXT to have their champion on the main roster if it does come to a point where Triple H wants to cross-promote, not only with NXT being featured on Monday, but Monday Night Raw and Friday night also being mentioned on Tuesday as well, which they have done. But the other way, NXT being mentioned on Monday and Friday, not really a thing, especially with Vince McMahon running the show. Never heard about that during the Black and Gold era. You never heard one fucking thing about NXT on the main roster. They always did everything to avoid it. When Vince McMahon took over NXT and Bruce Pritchard took over NXT, you saw more integration of the NXT 2.0 show on Monday Night Raw than you ever saw in 9 years of NXT Black and Gold on Monday and Friday night. I'll get into the spoilers about what Halloween Havoc is going to be presenting, but Takeover is coming back. Apparently, Takeover is going to be a thing now. NXT Black and Gold is going to be a thing. They're relaunching the brand. I was actually going to save this opinion. I probably will talk about this on Sunday as well, but I'm going to talk about this now. I'm going to need everybody to curb their excitement. And I mean this, this is coming from a good place, okay? I want everybody to curb their excitement about NXT. If there's one person in this community that knows about NXT and how important NXT was and how great NXT was, it is this podcast right here. I have staked my name to NXT in every which way about how important that show was. And I was very vocal about the death of Black and Gold. From going to Black and Gold and how we love that to 2.0, it was disgusting. It was absolutely fucking disgusting to see. I was mortified on that first night of 2.0. I'm going to need everybody to curb your excitement immediately. I'm not saying I don't trust Triple H. I'm not saying that we're not going to get a better show than what we got with 2.0. All I'm saying is that you are never going to get Black and Gold ever again. Black and Gold was a time where WWE collected some of the greatest talent in this industry to get them ready for the main roster. Vince wanted nothing to do with the talent that Triple H created and cultivated. That show had the likes of Adam Cole, Ricochet, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Some of these guys have gone on to the main roster and had some semblance of success. Many have not. Many have been fired. Many have been blackballed. Many have been casualties of the Vince McMahon pettiness and greed and ego in regards to his son-in-law and his son-in-law doing better business than Vince McMahon and running a better show, a better ship than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard had in the last 10 years. That was the reason why everything fell apart. NXT was a collection of the greatest indie talent that should have been main roster ready. Many of those talents should have been main event WrestleMania superstars. And that did not happen. You are not going to get NXT Black and Gold ever again. And I'm here to tell you that if you expect it to happen, if you expect to get Black and Gold all over again because they changed the fucking logo, it's not going to happen. You're going to be very, very disappointed. NXT is more than a fucking color or a bunch of colors. It's more than just black and gold. Black and gold, in theory, is what we remember. But all because they changed the fucking colors from a box of Fruit Loops to now black and gold, or what is more, white and gold. It's going to be more than just a fucking logo change with familiar colors. NXT has so much more than just a logo. You need passion. You need the talent. You need the Full Sail Arena. You need that crowd. You need the lighting to be changed. You need the attitude. It is so many different things that you don't currently have right now. So you can't go out there and call it a revitalization of the black and gold. What made NXT Black and Gold special was the cultivating of the talent that Triple H had given us on a weekly basis every single Wednesday at 1 hour. What made Black and Gold special was the fucking vibe in Full Sail University with the grittiness and the grunginess and the fucking dark atmosphere, a focus on in-ring professional wrestling. Not doing too much, not overstaying your welcome, letting the fans know, hey, we got a great product. We're not going to give you too much because we want to have everybody excited going into the next week's show and the next week's show and the next week's show. They built Takeover to be must-see events every single quarter. They did things right. Building talent, cultivating talent, storylines, championships meant something. I get a sense of none of this on NXT. Are they going to go back and literally do everything that they used to do? Is somewhat of the same team going to be there? I don't know. I don't know who's there. I don't know who is genuinely running the show. Shawn Michaels is going to have different obligations now. He's going to be in charge of NXT Europe. Is Triple H going to be in charge? Is he going to go back down there and run things the way that he used to? Is he going to appoint somebody new that he trusts to run the ship down there? I don't know. I don't know. But it's more than just a fucking color. So I'm going to need everybody to lower their expectations about a revitalization of the black and gold. I don't know what they got planned for the Performance Center, but everything that made Black and Gold special in Full Sail, I doubt we see half of it at the new WWE Performance Center. It is so much more than a fucking logo. And to go and talk about Takeover, a relaunch of Takeover, or bringing back the Takeover shows, it is not Takeover if you are operating this show out of the fucking Performance Center. Takeover is not 300 people inside a goddamn fucking gymnasium. Takeover is a stage where the best of the best get chosen to perform based on what they have given back to us inside a large-scale arena with the biggest storylines going on that show, fighting for the biggest titles that the brand has, titles that had prestige. None of these titles have had prestige like they used to. Every single one of them have taken a hit. Whether or not you like a Mandy Rose or a Braun Breaker, they ain't the same. It's not the same. And I don't expect anybody to sit there and take what I say as gospel, but I know a thing or two, and it's not like it used to be as far as the titles are concerned with the old Black and Gold and what we see here. So calling it Takeover and doing it inside the fucking Performance Center and masking it with Halloween Havoc because it should have been a thing long ago as a premium live event, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. So the basis of everything here is NXT is more than a fucking color change. It's more than a goddamn logo change. It's much more than that. Takeover is much more than, yeah, let's get everybody in the Performance Center and redo Takeover. Oh my God, Takeover's back. Takeover used to be 5 matches, best of the best. You worked your ass off to get to that spot. Every Takeover was built like a fucking WrestleMania. You're going to put randoms on a Takeover? You're going to give me a Takeover with 8 matches? You're going to overindulge and double dip with the Takeovers now? No. No. If you ain't going back and basically doing everything that you did with this new relaunch of NXT, then I don't want people to come to me and say, hey, man, Black and Gold is back. Hey, man, Takeover is back. No. No, I'm going to need you to fucking take several steps back when you discuss NXT with me, because it's not going to be what you remember it, and it's not going to be the same vibe as what you remember with the Black and Gold. So yes, they got a new logo. Yes, they're changing the colors. Yes, they're undoing everything that Vince and Bruce fucking did to ruin Tuesday nights. But are we going to get the vibe of what we used to love? Are we going to get the in-ring action? The show is still operating under 2 hours. It never really managed to capture the essence of what it was at 1 hour. 2 hours, you think it made the show better. 1 hour was key for NXT. 2 hours, I honestly think, made the show dip in quality because it's just like Monday night and Friday night. The more you give, the less that we get back. The more you give, the quality is going to take a hit. And that's exactly what happened on Tuesday night. I wasn't for that move at all. At all. 1 hour was top-notch, key for NXT. 2 hours means that we get to see more fluff on the show. And half of that roster doesn't even belong on television. At 1 hour, you get a lot more, and you get a lot more bang for your buck. No pun intended there. So, I'm going to need people to curb their excitement about NXT. Now, the main event for Halloween Havoc has already been revealed. Now, during yesterday's taping, there was a promo exchange with J.D. McDonough, Braun Breaker, and a returning Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov is back, and I expected him to show up on NXT. And this obviously goes in line with NXT UK coming over to North America here in the States. NXT UK folding up, closing up shop. Most of the top tier talent now being used on NXT on Tuesday night to inject some of that Black and Gold essence into the brand. That's great. I'm all for that. This also gives WWE time to call up a Carmelo Hayes and call up a Braun Breaker potentially and call up a Santos Escobar and guys like that that have been there and are ready for a call-up. Ilya Dragunov, J.D. McDonough, and Braun Breaker. There was a promo exchange. Dragunov wanted a title match upon returning. McDonough took issue with that because he's the number one contender. J.D. McDonough beat Tyler Bate in a number one contenders match. to even get that opportunity. This is going to happen next week. Breakker came out, and McDonough suggested a match between Dragunov and Breakker, with the winner earning the right to defend the title against him at TakeOver. Breakker threw out the challenge of a triple threat, with the title being on the line at Halloween Havoc, with both stars accepting the challenge. October 22nd, we'll see Bron Breakker defend the NXT title against Ilya Dragunov and JD McDonough in a triple threat match. It sounds like to me that they're about to call up Bron Breakker to the main roster. I do not see him withstanding a triple threat match between himself, JD McDonough, and a Ilya Dragunov. I don't know. And this would be the perfect opportunity. If I'm not mistaken, Ilya Dragunov had to give up that title due to injury, which they had a tournament for, which Tyler Bate won, and then he lost to Bron Breakker, where he unified the title. This would be a perfect opportunity to give Ilya Dragunov back a world title that he never lost and call up Bron Breakker to the main roster while he stays down there and builds that title alongside JD McDonough, and we get an eventual rematch with Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate versus Ilya Dragunov is TakeOver worthy. And I mean TakeOver worthy, not inside the Performance Center. I mean in a large-scale venue. That's what's going on there. At the end of all this discussion, I will talk about this more on Sunday when we go live with the podcast, 444. I'm going to need you guys to curb your enthusiasm and curb your excitement about NXT. You are not going to get black and gold. It may resemble somewhat of the black and gold. There may be inklings of the black and gold in there, but it's never going to be the black and gold again. You don't have the talent that you had on that roster and then fucking destroy it and then create 2.0 and then expect to go back to NXT, black and gold, and the way things used to be. Never. Never going to happen. So I'm going to need you to not be as excited about it, and this is truly a wait-and-see process. What it will do, as far as I'm concerned, is give me hope. There's no reason to doubt Triple H. If Triple H is making these changes gradually, faster than we anticipated, then there are going to be things that we are going to have to sit back and wait. We can be excited about it, but we don't really know what he has planned for NXT. We don't know what he has planned for the main roster or Friday night, Monday night. We don't know anything. We've seen things change, but we don't know the grand change that he has in mind overall. This is something that I'm going to keep a mindful eye on, and we will be live on Tuesday to talk about all this shit, because if black and gold, or somewhat of the black and gold, is coming back, I want to be there to examine the change as we see on a weekly basis. And finally, guys, we got the Velveteen Dream. Apparently, Velveteen Dream took to Instagram Live and talked about EC3 in regards to all the news about Velveteen Dream filming people unsolicited in the bathroom and filming them while they went to the bathroom, cocaine use. Apparently, this was all done over the last week and a half, where EC3 blasted Velveteen Dream, and now Velveteen Dream has issued a rebuttal in regards to the accusations. I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly what Velveteen Dream said about EC3. I'm just going to let you listen to the Velveteen Dream yourself, as I have the video queued up right here.
And God works in amazing ways, okay? Let me tell you this. I'm trying to help my old man out on a computer, and I just type in WWE, right? Tell me why. The first thing I see is EC3 has talked to the dirt sheets. I guess since I'm on TMZ now, I'm somebody again. EC3 has gone to the dirt sheets saying that, if you haven't seen it, he had a party at his house one night. And if I'm to be correct, this was about 2017, 2018 EC3. And I'm not going to tell people who was at this party out of respect for our mutual friends. But one of our mutual friends is a former NXT talent that no longer works for the WWE. And the other person is a current Monday Night Raw talent who used to wrestle talent for NXT. Okay? Mike, EC3, you go out here after I give you the best match you've ever had in your entire career. You go out here and you dirt. I'm tired of people throwing dirt on my name. You throw this dirt on my name saying that I tried to record you in your bathroom. Let's be honest, Mike. You're leaving out a lot of details. What were we doing that night, Mike? What type of powder was on the table, Mike? Okay? Okay, let's be real. So let's not leave out all the details. We were all drunk. You were pissy drunk because you were in your place. You were damn near passed out in the corner. You and your homegirl, whichever chick you were screwing at the time, okay? And the other two people, our mutual friends, were there. I left my phone on your bathroom counter. And because you were not sure of my sexuality at the time because of the character I played on TV and because we're not friends in real life at all, okay? You try to accuse me of recording you in your own home. So what did I do? I went to our mutual friend who no longer works for the WWA, former NXT talent, and I showed him my phone and had him go through my photos and videos and my recently deleted just to prove to you and the other person that was there who, because I respect him and he has a job, okay, I'm not going to put him out there, okay, I had him prove to you that I was not recording you. Cocaine is a hell of a drug, EC3. Get your shit together. And if anyone would like to go to my friends list right now and check out who follows me, because I'm not following him, EC3 is a follower of mine. I would really think that if you thought that much of me, that you couldn't trust me, you definitely wouldn't be following me on social media, on Instagram, all these years later, EC3. You're pathetic. Now control that narrative, you asshole.
Now, EC3 has actually issued a follow-up statement to PW Insider in regards to this Velveteen Dream video that went viral yesterday. In life, I forgive everyone for everything that has been done to me. I personally never failed a drug test from any employer, nor have been arrested for drug usage, paraphernalia, assault, battery, or any inappropriate behavior, all of which Velveteen Dream has been arrested for. My forgiveness includes Patrick Clark for setting up a video recording device in the bathroom of my home. As far as any other accusations and allegations against him, I hope that he finds the help he needs. EC3. He said, she said, bullshit. Nobody really knows. There were rumors that Patrick Clark got quietly suspended for cocaine use. All we know at the end of all of this is that instead of control your narrative, EC3 controlled his cocaine, and Velveteen Dream as well obviously goes on Instagram Live. If this guy had any hope, which was zero at the point of no return, if he had any hope about possibly going back to the WWE, he basically ousted himself for cocaine use. And I don't know how that's going to look with the new administration now running WWE, if there was any interest on bringing him back or potentially giving him another shot to redo himself. What a complete mess. Patrick Clark, I loved what he did at NXT. Ended up being one of the biggest disappointments of my entire lifetime as far as the talent is concerned. And EC3, I mean, I was never a big fan of EC3 to begin with, but all this he said, she said bullshit, it's nothing more than a distraction. None of it matters. EC3 has a failed promotion after losing Braun Strowman back to WWE. They're closing up shop. They're finished. And Velveteen Dream is a fucking failure. And he's a junkie. And he's never going to wrestle in the business again. Don't know why we are meddling in the business of Velveteen Dream and EC3. None of it is important. What is important is what I do here to give you guys the news. And we'll continue to develop and create a great community on Monday, Friday, Wednesday, anytime we're live here on YouTube. Thank you guys for all your support. And I'm about to get out of here, man. I wanted to give you guys an extra, just to give you guys my thought process on the entire NXT revamp that we saw coming out of Tuesday's show. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section of this video. Next time you see me, I'll be live on Friday night when we are live after SmackDown. I probably will not be doing Rampage. It looks like a shit show. I will be live after SmackDown is over, and we will talk about everything coming out of that Friday night show, guys. Enjoy your Thursdays. Hit that thumbs up, 1,000 minimum on the like button. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And make sure you guys go follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. I'll see you guys live Friday night after SmackDown. Enjoy Thursdays, and I'll see you later.